Buy a gift to her, so I hope that she enjoy the words today. I'm gonna give her a really big hug.
Did you ever wonder what might have happened if Spiderman was born in Spain and instead of web-slinging, he played tennis? Neither did I. But meet Carlos Alcaraz, probably the closest thing we'll get. Now, don't get me wrong, the Spidey senses might not be there, but a certain Spanish bite certainly is. Let's dive deep into the 3 pillars that have sculpted our very own tennis Peter Parker. But before that, it's trivia time. Why does tennis use the scoring system of 15, 30 and 40 instead of counting up by tens like most sports? Hint, it involves medieval France and clock faces, but watch until the end to find out more. And as always, if this video serves up some tennis joy, volley that like button and backhand a subscribe for more ace-worthy tennis content like this. Born on a warm May 5th in 2003 in the cozy arms of Virginia Garcia and Carlos Alcaraz Gonzalez, Carlos Jr., let's call him that for clarity and a touch of sass, opened his eyes in El Palmar, Murcia, a quaint Spanish village which I bet you haven't visited, but now might want to. Murcia, not just the birthplace of our new tennis sensation, but also a haven for, well, more tennis. Carlos Sr., his dad, wasn't just any man with a tennis racket. 30 years ago, he was shaking up the tennis terrain, becoming one of the first Murcians to score ATP points. Top 40 of Spanish tennis professionals? Check. But let's be honest, what really sets him apart is being the dad to our main man. Think of it like being the guy behind Batman, not Alfred, but more like Batman's tennis-loving dad. As for him, as for his mum, Virginia, the world of tennis gets her on edge. I mean, it's tough watching your own blood battle it out with a racket and fuzzy ball. It's a bit like watching a nail-biting movie, but you've got no popcorn. But guess what? Mama Garcia might not be chatting tennis over dinner, but boy is she the proudest cheerleader from the sidelines. If you thought Carlos Jr. was the only racket-wielding maestro in the Alcaraz household, brace yourselves. James, Sergio and Alvaro, the Alcaraz brothers, share the same zip code in Murcia and, unsurprisingly, a penchant for tennis. Just imagine the family gatherings. Less past the potatoes and more past the tennis balls. Carlos might be the name on everybody's lips, but let's be real. Behind every successful man is an army of siblings trying to beat him at backyard tennis.
It's great to have you here supporting me every day, to make me be a better person every day.
We all know love can be a tricky game, and if you've ever tried to get a date while trying to serve an ace, well, let's just say it's not for the faint of heart. Enter Maria Gonzalez Jimenez, an Instagram goddess, tennis enthusiast, and the alleged heartbeat behind Carlos's M highlight, which, by the way, if clicked, is a gateway to a world of R's and heart emojis. Maria isn't just arm candy for Carlos, no siree. She's got her game face on, playing for Murcia Club de Tennis, and while she might not be gracing international courts just yet, her Instagram followers can attest to her powerful serves and, of course, those candid lovey-dovey moments. P.S. When tennis meets love, the net isn't the only thing causing a racket. Ever wondered how Carlos Alcaraz, the tennis sensation, spends his millions? Or where he lays his head after a sweat-drenched match? Let's take a dive into the glitzy, or not so glitzy, life of our tennis hero. First up, Carlos's tennis arm isn't just powerful, it's lucrative.
Djokovic is deposed, there's a new king.
At just 13, our boy was already signing racket deals with Babolat and flaunting the pure Aero 98, making most teens look at their life choices. Since then, big names like Nike, BMW, Rolex and Calvin Klein have lined up at his door, as if he's the cool kid everyone wants at their party. According to the money maestros at Forbes, by August 2022, Carlos netted a whopping $5.9 million from tennis antics and another $5 million from off-court shenanigans, totaling a cool $10.9 million. By now, in 2023, his vault swelled to a staggering $16,660,732. And that's before we've seen his Wimbledon or US Open performances. Imagine adding those cherries to this rich cake. Now, to the juicy endorsements. Starting off with Babolat, endorsing him till 2025, and $1 million handshake with Nike, Carlos seems to have hit the brand jackpot. From getting Rolex's timely attention in January 2022, snacking on a deal with El Pozo in June 2022, driving into the sunset with BMW in July 2022, to fashioning it up with Calvin Klein and Louis Vuitton in 2023, it's safe to say our boy is in demand. And speaking of demand, this tennis heartthrob can, according to Tennis World USA, earn an estimated $7 million for an Instagram shoutout. With a follower count that's gunning for the top, he's on the heels of big names like Nadal, Djokovic and Kyrgios. And yes, Andy Murray is peeking from behind, but Carlos is too focused on his game to notice. But here's the twist. For all his millions, Carlos doesn't live the swanky mansion lifestyle. No villas, no Beverly Hills skyline. Instead, he's rocking a normal teenager vibe, living in the JC Ferrero Equity Academy. This isn't just any academy. It's owned by his coach, Juan Carlos, and frequented by icons like Maria Sharapova. In fact, Carlos resides in a quaint 90 square meter wooden house, the very one Juan Carlos called home during his world #1 days. Talk about living under a lucky star. And even though our boy can afford the likes of Ferraris, he's modestly cruising in a €90,000 BMW. Perhaps he feels the thrill of speeding is best left to his serves, which, by the way, zoom at a blistering 220 kilometers per hour. But wait, there's more. Carlos isn't just about rackets and serves, he's also giving back. His foundation, kickstarted in 2022, has already raised $12 million. Plus, his US Open winning tennis trainers were auctioned off for a noble cause. Isn't that ace? Lastly, while many teens debate waking up early, Carlos is at the gym by 9:30, possibly flexing more than just his muscles and transforming into the tennis titan we know and love. With his family's influence still firm, the only luxury Carlos seems to chase is the dream of tennis supremacy. From family genes to tennis dreams, and from brotherly rallies to courtly romance, Carlos Alcaraz's life isn't just about chasing a fuzzy green ball. It's the tale of a boy surrounded by love and passion, aiming to carve a name for himself. And remember that hook about Spiderman? Well, every superhero has an origin story. This is Carlos's. Now, why don't you serve us a solid? Comment below your favourite thing about Carlitos. Who knows, we might just have another superhero story waiting in the wings. And remember, behind every great tennis player is a net, a racket, and a story worth 1,400 words. Moving on, it's now time to answer our trivia question from the beginning. Tennis, where even the scoring system seems to have had a few too many. Picture this, medieval French folks playing tennis thinking, how can we confuse future generations? Oh, I know, clocks. For each point, they shifted the hour hand a quarter way around, 15, 30, and surprise, 45. Except, nope, it's 40 now. Why? Perhaps they enjoyed the drama of stretching out that last bit. Or maybe it was a yard game, literally. Players used to play on a court that was 90 yards long, moving 15 feet per point. but who knows? Other sports count 1, 2, 3, and tennis went with medieval clock math? Classic. And that, my friends, is game, set, and match for this episode of Glam Slam Tennis. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action and what we have in store. Until next time, stay fabulous and ace those serves.